Who's that? Commander Claw. Who's bad? Commander Claw. Welcome back to another episode of Breaking Brews. I'm your host, Commander Claw, and I'm bringing you one of the 3 Precon commanders for Edge of Eternities. Yeah, it's about that time already. But I just want to tell you that this commander is all about alternate win cons in my mind. This is my first Breaking Brews for this. I will come out with another episode of it, but this was the first thought that came to my mind, and I had to give you cards that are all about alternate win cons. This is a Jeskai Artifacts commander, and I think it's pretty cool. So, without further ado, let's introduce Kilo, Apogee Mind for Jeskai colors. He's a 3/3 body, legendary artifact creature, robot artificer. He has haste. Then he says, whenever Kilo becomes tapped, proliferate. Choose any number of permanents and or players, then give each another counter of each kind already there. So yeah, when I think of counters and trying to proliferate, I do think of Infect. An opponent, all they need is 10 poison counters and they lose the game. But there are a bunch of other counters out there that could just, win you the game. And let's talk about these counters. But stick around to the end of the video because these counters will not be able to get to its maximum capability without an infinite combo. And that infinite combo needs to tap and untap Kilo, Apogee, Mind. So we got Lost Caverns of Ixalan. This card came from that set. It is the Millennium Calendar for 1 colorless mana legendary artifact. It says whenever you untap 1 or more permanents during your untap step, put that many time counters on the Millennium Calendar. Tap 2 and tap it. Double the number of time counters on the Millennium Calendar. When there are 1,000 or more time counters on the Millennium Calendar, sacrifice it and each opponent loses 1,000 life. Cool. This card has been one of the most sought after ways to get to 1,000 counters, and I realize they're slowly creating cards for you to make it easier to get to 1,000 counters. Yes, this is just one of the many cards for alternate win cons. Moving on. Now, by far, Dark Steel Reactor is going to be my favorite one. It came from the Mirrodin set. It's for 4 mana artifact. Dark Steel Reactor is indestructible. So that means when players play Vandalize and Vandalblast and everything that says destroy artifacts, this artifact stays on the battlefield. Anyway, it says at the beginning of your upkeep, you may put a charge counter on Dark Steel Reactor. When Dark Steel Reactor has 20 or more charge counters on it, you win the game. So if you have the ability to proliferate or add a charge counter besides during your upkeep and you get to that 20 mark, you win the game, my friends. Easy as that. So if you're able to proliferate by tapping or untapping to tap, woo, you win the game faster. Next up, we got Strixhaven Stadium for 3 mana artifact. Tap it, add a colorless. Put a point counter on Strixhaven Stadium. Whenever a creature deals combat damage to you, remove a point counter from Strixhaven Stadium. Whenever a creature control deals combat damage to an opponent, put a point counter on Strixhaven Stadium. Then, if it has 10 or more point counters on it, remove them all, and that player loses the game. I think this was just always a fun card to have when I go to combat. I got it in a couple of my Boros decks because I just want to be rewarded for hitting my opponents with multiple creatures. And, if I do, that last time I get to remove a counter, that player loses the game. I always like this card. Think it's pretty fair. It's removable, easy, and as a mana rock. A lot of things in one. Moving on to another alternative win con. Now, by far, this has to be the easiest one. The easiest one. It's probably not even fair. We got 20-toed Toad for 4 mana, 3 in a blue, 3/3 body, frog wizard. Your maximum hand size is 20. Whenever you attack with 2 or more creatures, put a +1/+1 counter on 20-toed Toad and draw a card. Whenever a 20-toed Toad attacks, you win the game if there are 20 or more counters on it. You have 20 or more cards in hand. So, you got 2 options. He's got to have 20 or more counters on it, or you have 20 or more cards in your hand. And Jeskai colors, to draw that many cards is not that hard. It's not that hard. There's several ways to have infinite card draw. And even when you attack, throwing on 20 counters on this Toad, proliferating, spells that double the amount of counters on creatures like that stingray. I can't think of it right now. And it's just easy. I think in Jeskai colors, it gets really easy because there's a bunch of white spells that do it at instant speed. Yeah. So if you don't know those cards, why not? Moving on to some more alternative win cons. I'm going to go over them really quick because they're pretty simple and straightforward. Azor's Electors for 3 and Azorius. 3/5 body human advisor. At the beginning of your upkeep, put a filibuster counter on Azor's Elocutors. Then if Azor's Elocutors has 5 or more filibuster counters on it, you win the game. Whenever a source deals damage to you, remove a filibuster counter from Azor's Elocutors. 5 counters to win the game? All you really need to do is just make it to your upkeep and make sure you have 5 or more, you win the game. You will be a target though. Your opponents will not unless you just win like that. And you know, well, I was gonna say burn spells do count as a source of that dealt damage to you too. So be careful. Next up, we got Chance Encounter, which I think I've never played in my life, but I've always seen this card and I was never even interested in playing, but it could be relevant in this deck for you. Chance Encounter for 2 and 2 red enchantment. Whenever you win a coin, whenever you win a coin flip, put a luck counter on Chance Encounter. At the beginning of your upkeep, if Chance Encounter has 10 or more luck counters on it, you win the game. How lucky can you be? Now, welcome to the very end. I'm sure you other veteran MTG players have better infinite tap and untap combos out there. Feel free to share them in the comment section below. But this is just right here, infinite untap artifact creature combo. And it is missing one card to tap our commander so they can proliferate. But let me give you 2/3 of the pie. So we got Metalworker and Voltaic Construct. Essentially, you're going to have 2 artifacts in your hand, and you're going to tap Metalworker because they say reveal any number of artifact cards in your hand, add 2 colors mana to your mana pool for each card revealed this way. So that's going to give you 4 mana, right? And you're going to use that 4 mana and feed it into Voltaic Construct. You at least use 2 of it to untap target artifact creature, and you're going to untap Metalworker so you can do the mana addition again. You still got 2 mana to do whatever you need to do. And we're going to use that for the Thrown by Staff to tap our Kilo Apogee Mind so he can deal 1 damage. But whenever he becomes tapped, he proliferates. So that is the essentially infinite combo that you will need with Kilo Apogee Mind to add as many counters as you want to whatever you need. This combo right here creates infinite colors mana. Let me know in the comment section if I got anything wrong. You guys are here to help all of us out. Appreciate it. Kilo Apogee Mind, I think artwork-wise, it looks like it fits the world of Edge of Eternities. I'm a sci-fi fan, so I'm already liking giant robots, celestial minds, spacecraft. You know, we can go there. That's cool stuff right there. But Edge of Eternities, I don't know what to expect from it yet. Spoiler season hopefully is here, I guess. Haven't really looked much into it. Saw these 2 of these 3 commanders, so I'm trying to show y'all some stuff. Let me know. Peace.